and Canada. But does anyone own the North Pole? No. The North Pole is like the oceans, open to anyone. You don't need a passport to go visit the North Pole. The Arctic Circle is huge, over 5.5 million square miles in area. That's much bigger than the United States. It's even bigger than China and Mexico put together. The Arctic Circle is one of the coldest places on the Earth. In summer, the average temperature is only 50 degrees Fahrenheit. In winter, it can reach 90 degrees below zero in some parts of the Arctic Circle. Almost the entire Arctic Circle is water, which is frozen much of the year. Frozen seawater is called sea ice. It's about 9 feet thick, but can be as thick as 15 feet. Throughout the year, the sea ice melts and then freezes again. Huge chunks of sea ice break apart, letting rivers and lakes of seawater flow between them. The ice floes drift apart. It can be impossible to walk straight to the North Pole without crossing water at some point, or waiting for the ice to form again. Some parts of the Arctic Circle do include solid land. The 3 largest land areas belong to Greenland, Russia, and Canada. Which country has the smallest area in the Arctic Circle? Iceland. In the Arctic, even solid land is mostly covered in ice or snow. Most of Greenland is covered in an ice sheet, much thicker than sea ice. In the center of Greenland, the sheet is almost 2 miles thick. When it snows in Greenland, the snow packs down and becomes ice, so the sheet gets thicker. Chunks of the ice sheet break off near the coast. They become dangerous icebergs that float out to sea. Greenland and Iceland, 2 mixed-up names. Greenland is barely green at all, with very few plants and almost no trees. It's almost all ice. Iceland, an island country nearby, is the opposite. It has mostly green rolling hills and a lot less ice. How did these 2 countries get such wrong names? Greenland was named by an explorer, Eric the Red. He had been sent there from Iceland as punishment for a crime he'd committed. When he finally returned home, he told everyone that he had found a beautiful place to settle. But he may not have been telling the truth about this new land. He may have named it Greenland so people would want to live there. No one knows for sure how Iceland got its name. One story is that the first settlers saw ice along the coastline and named the country before they realized that it was mostly green and beautiful. The Arctic Circle is sometimes called the land of the midnight sun. Why? Because, depending on how far north in the Arctic Circle you are, the sun stays up for days, weeks, or months at a time. At the North Pole, smack in the middle of the Arctic Circle, the sun rises and sets only once a year. It comes up in March and stays up for 6 full months. Then the sun sets, and the North Pole is completely dark for 6 months of polar nights. When explorers like Robert Peary searched for the pole, they had to travel in summer to get back to their base camp by fall, or else they would be marching across the ice in the dark. Why does the sun set only once a year at the North Pole? To understand the answer, you first have to think about why we see the sun rise and set. The answer is that the Earth is always spinning or turning. It makes one complete turn every 24 hours. The parts of the Earth facing the sun have day. The parts facing away from the sun have night. The Earth spins around what we call its axis. This axis is like an imaginary stick going straight through it from the North Pole to the South Pole. But the stick does not stand up straight. It's tilted so that our planet spins at an angle. At the same time the Earth is spinning on its axis, it is also following a path, orbiting around the sun. When the northern half of the Earth is tilted toward the sun, it has summer, and there are 6 months of daylight at the North Pole. Later in the year, when the northern half of the Earth is tilted away from the sun, the North has winter. Then there are 6 months of darkness at the North Pole. When it's dark in the Arctic Circle, people sometimes see a brilliant light show called the Northern Lights, or Aurora Borealis. The Northern Lights are flashes and streaks of colored light in the night sky. Mostly green, but sometimes purple, red, and blue. They spread across